Welcome to InFocus, the National Policing Institute's new series of conversations and insights. I'm Jim Birch, and today we are joined by former Boulder Police Chief Maris Herold. Chief Herold also served as the Chief of Police for the University of Cincinnati and served more than 23 years with the Cincinnati Police Department, retiring in 2016 at the rank of captain. She holds her Master of Science in Criminal Justice and Police Science from Xavier University, and importantly, is well known across the policing profession as an innovator, a forward-leaning practitioner, and someone who, quite frankly, isn't afraid to challenge the status quo. Chief, welcome, and thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you, President Birch. It's really nice to be here and discussing an important topic such as, I think, the one that we're going to have today.
Chief, can you just take us on a quick journey? For those who may not know you, take us on a quick journey through your career in law enforcement and talk to us about what you're doing today.
I have a unique background, I think, in policing. I started my career out after college, really entering the field of psychology. And I was a psychology intake worker out of college, working with juvenile delinquents and also adults with mental health issues. I transitioned, moving back from Florida, moving to Cincinnati, where I worked years as an investigative social worker, both for the state of Kentucky and for the Cincinnati area as well. Because of many frustrations within the bureaucracies of social work, I really transitioned into the role of policing in the city of Cincinnati. They happened to call me first. I also applied for the FBI, and Cincinnati called first, and I have not regretted 1 minute of the long career that I've had in policing.
And Chief, today, I know you've left the city of Boulder. Tell us where you are now and what you're working on.
Yeah, so I recently transitioned not too long ago, within the last couple months, to the Department of Justice's Bureau of Justice Assistance. And I'm lucky to be working with some talented people there with, hopefully my main thrust will be working with the Knowledge Lab located within the National Policing Institute.
You and I've spent a little bit of time talking about the Knowledge Lab and more specifically talking about a term that's used often within the context of the Knowledge Lab, which is the term constitutional policing. I'd love to hear you as a law enforcement leader, policing executive, what do you think about the term constitutional policing?
The way I think about it is pretty straightforward. I think our founding fathers provided a framework that offers concepts and themes that run throughout the entire Constitution, especially as it relates to individual rights. Those themes include the idea that all people have the right to fundamental fairness, due process, and impartiality.
You know, Chief, one of the things when we first launched the Law Enforcement Knowledge Lab and we started using the term constitutional policing more, one of the things we heard from some in the profession is, you know, why do we have to call it constitutional policing? You know, why does there have to be a name? You know, we've historically community policing, problem-oriented policing, intelligence-led policing, relational policing, stratified policing, you know, all these different terms. Why do we need to call it constitutional policing when what we're really talking about is what policing has always been meant to be? Why is that? Why is a term needed?
Every time, if you go back 30 years in policing, every time we run afoul in the community, it is because we have violated our basic constitutional principles. And so when I think of every incident that has triggered civil unrest or conflict with the police department, it is because fundamentally we have forgotten about those themes in the Constitution. So I think that constitutional policing should be looked at as the North Star. It should be written in every vision statement. These themes are so important. It has to be the North Star. We have to continue talking about constitutional policing. And when I think about this, it's one thing to be effective. I think that I can give you story after story of reducing crime in police departments, but I can't tell you that every time the police department was concerned with being ethical and equitable. And that speaks to fairness, and that speaks to impartiality. And I think that it's important moving forward in the field of policing as we evolve to have more robust conversations like you're doing, President Birch. This is so important. I think that police need to know, what are we going up this mountain for? What are you expecting us to fight for? And what is the North Star? And I think the Constitution has always been the North Star. And hopefully this doesn't get lost in translation, that this continues to be the foundation of policing in a free society. So in my opinion, I hope we never lose our sight of the principles and the themes contained within the Constitution.
We had the opportunity to watch as you went through a community, strategic planning process there. You're reimagining policing, which really was incredibly well received by the community and so thoughtfully done and evidence-based in so many ways. So we're grateful for that, and we're grateful for you spending time with us today and sharing your thoughts. So Chief, thank you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and let's just keep fighting for democracy and the Constitution, and I think we'll be in a good place if we do that.
And thank you for joining us as part of our InFocus series, where we start the conversation around issues that matter to the policing profession. Subscribe today to be a part of these conversations and those forthcoming. Thank you.